I want to talk about one of the world's greatest mysteries. How do we raise healthy and successful-oriented children? Especially when most parents don't have a clue. Here's my advice to parents. Quit blaming yourself for whatever your child has done that is not quite up to par. But do take some credit when they do something of excellence. But it also may not be totally because of your guidance in upbringing. Most young parents, they're clueless about how to raise a child. But also, you are not the only one raising your child. The character of the people the child is associating with have a great hand in that. Wouldn't it be simple if every child came with an owner's manual? Everything will be in there, everything you needed. Well, you should also then, if you look in the owner's manual, you find out that your child came with 400 to 500 embedded genetic markers inherited from many generations past. And if these markers are not turned on, they could be detrimental. If they are good markers, and they should be turned off if they're bad markers. Because if not so, the children will grow up having some of the traits of generations past. These genetic markers will surface sometime in your child's present, maybe past or future, all depending on if they're turned on or off. And that should be done for the betterment of the child. You can read about this under the title of a brand new medical science that is starting to get some foothold now because of the better understanding of genetics. It is called epigenetics. You should start reading about it. Believe it or not, you can control these genetic markers and forming the character of the child, ideally before the age of about 7 years or so, and by the environment that you are subjecting your child to. Up to the age of 7, the child is a sponge for absorbing information, and their neural network is formed accordingly because of their brainwave frequencies are operating of below 7 cycles per second. That is where super learning happens. If the child is growing up in a mentally toxic environment, that's the only thing that child would know. So that child will become the person of that kind of character. If a child is told no all the time, it will soon shut down, give up, quit asserting itself, and become a follower with maybe little or no ambition. And the children, the parents, they wouldn't know because there is no owner's manual. If a child is told yes, and yes, you can do anything you set your mind to, you are smart. That is brilliant, son. Keep doing it. I'm proud of you. The child would have self-confidence and become a leader and a performer, a creator of good things, great things. And remember, we also have the indoctrination centers, the schools. The children are sent there for a minimum of 8 years of indoctrination in socialism, communism, fake history, fake news, fake science, democracy as the only good form of government, and other society-destroying theories. You need to monitor what they are teaching them and correct some of it, so they don't come home one day and tell you, today I learned that we have 42 different genders. Which one are you, Dad? Yeah, it could happen if you don't watch them. And since we know there are negative genetic markers embedded in our DNA, that's when we're born. We can turn off those destructive markers by instructing the neural network to do so in many different ways. And we're giving them a positive environment. That is half the job. You should speak to the children with encouragement. Give them positive examples. Be supportive. Teach them truth-enforcing ways. Give them affirmations. Encourage them to read and study thought leaders and successful people. We need to play with them and make life fun. And here's the cold, hard facts of life. Kids are gonna do stupid things. And things that just don't work. But turn it around. Make a positive experience out of it. Like, boy, oh boy, son, that didn't work too well, did it? But you're going to do a lot better next time. So what did you learn from this time? And then talk it through with them. Explain what did not work, maybe why it didn't work, and how it can work next time. Or maybe better yet, try something totally different, a new avenue to accomplish the same thing. Teach them to look for opportunities and encourage new thinking, to think for themselves. Make sure they understand the concept of delayed gratification. When they do understand delayed gratification, they will become investors and not just wage earners and spenders. You can help them restructure their genetic code by keeping them in a good environment with good nutrition and nutritious foods. Start them on food supplements early so they get used to it, because they don't get the minerals and the amino acids and everything they need at the grocery store. Install discipline. Help them form their strong, positive character so they can grow up and be the leaders of tomorrow. God knows we need those. There are not that many leaders out there. There are 13 on a dozen of bosses and politicians, just very few leaders. So I hope I gave you something to think about. And I think everybody should watch this video twice, at least. Even if you don't have young children. Your children have children that may be younger. In fact, send this video to everybody you know that have young kids. They might thank you for it. If you are watching this video on YouTube, please subscribe and click the bell so you can get notified next time there is a video coming out. So until then, see you in the next video.